Yo, can y'all hear me? Okay, so I'm here, we're here. We're still trying to get Dale's mic to work. I don't know if you guys can hear him. Can y'all let me know if y'all can hear Dale? Um, if not, we still got to try to make that work. There's a little cog at the bottom of your screen, Dale. Um, if you look inside of the app, it looks like a little gear. And that gear, if you tap that gear and you look at it, there should be an audio setting to the left. And you want to make sure that you're going through the audio setting that you're using, and then also make sure that you're not muted. And that may be what's going on. So far, we got four of our friends out in the audience. It's so nice to have you guys. So we've got a few things that we're going to be getting into. Here, let's.
Fuck.
There he is. Okay, my
Hey, can
man.
you hear me?
Holy cap! I can hear him. I can hear him. There he is,
Woo!
my man. Look, he is. There he is. Woo! We got Dale. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Dale. We got Dale. We got Dale. Woo! It is a good Saturday, gang. What's going on? What's going on, man? How are you doing, bro? How are you
Sunday morning
doing?
here. That's why I look like shit.
Waking up so early to hang out and vibe with us, man. Ladies and
I
gentlemen,
didn't.
give a round of applause to
I
this
didn't even
man,
know there was an
EUC
8:30 in the
Wheeler.
morning.
I'm saying, I know you always be getting into it. You always getting into it, having some kind of fun. I never see you without a cigarette or a beer in your hand. My man's always having
No,
a
that's
good
a joint.
time. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Yeah, I mean, this is my weapon of choice over here.
Oh, that looks like a nice vape.
So, guys, look, respectively, we have, we have a lot of riding experience between us, but make no bones about it, this man's been doing it far longer than I have been doing it. And I've actually been a big fan of EUC Wheeler for a really long time. I got some notes here to help kind of make sense of everything and make sure that I don't end up, let's see, make sure right here and make sure that we don't end up dragging on or that things don't, that we cover a lot because there's just so much to go over. So we're going to go ahead and start picking at it. Um, yeah, guys, I just wanted to say thank you so much for being here, man. We're almost at like 3,000 subscribers. It's kind of ridiculous,
Woo!
and it's not a Johnny Go Vroom thing. It's an our community thing. It's like a bunch of level-headed people that just want sensible riding and want the EUC thing to last for a long time, and that's just kind of where we're all hanging out is over here, and I really appreciate that. So thank you guys so much, and I want to, again. Uh, Introduce our guest of honor here, Mr. EUC Wheeler. And so, how long, Dale? I know you've been riding for a long time, but how long you been riding?
I got my first wheel in February of 2015, so just over 10 years.
Oh man, yeah, that's a whole long time. What was your first wheel? What was the first one that you hopped
Oh,
onto?
I don't think it's even got a name. When they first came out, like because there was a hoverboard craze and heaps of factories in China just started pumping them out. There was a
Hmm.
few factories that started making EUCs as well, but obviously they didn't sell like the hoverboards, so most of them had just dropped off. But the one I had didn't actually have a name on it or anything. It was just we called it a clone because it was like a solo wheel clone sort of thing, but
Oh, okay, okay.
looked a little bit different. But
I bet
yeah,
you that thing had
it
a
did like
top.
10 miles an hour.
I was
Had
about to
about a
say it had
six
a top
six mile
speed.
range.
That sounds about right for the time. I was like, I
Yeah.
bet you that thing went to infinity and beyond.
Oh, it's been beaten up.
I bet you you learned a lot though. I bet you learned a lot on that wheel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes and no. I learned how to ride it. I
Well, I
didn't
mean,
really
like how
get that
many?
good till a bit later.
What do you feel like like switched you over, got you to the to feel like you were getting better or like what switched gears? Like what made you decide to level up since this episode is kind of all about leveling up and getting better and riding better and trying to do that.
Yeah, I'm not really too sure. It's like, I mean, in today's standards, that's a pretty crappy wheel. But
Yeah, I
back
mean,
then,
yeah.
that's all there was really. So I loved it. You know, my mate, he's a performer. He come to where I live, and I was working for him, and he come to here, and he had one like this one, the one that I ended up getting, and I just thought it was amazing. And I asked him if I can have a go, and my first try, I held his shoulder and I got on it and I managed to ride it. And
Oh,
then
wow.
had another go in my second turn, I managed to free mountain ride. And I was like, fuck yeah, I got this, you know. And then on my third try, I was cruising along, thinking I'm fucking top shit. And then I just fucking stacked it, face planted down onto my hands, like gravel in my hands and shit. I'm like,
Oh,
that
damn.
was a little bit humbling. And then I was like, oh, you know, but because he scratched it up, because that's the one that he learnt on, he bought himself another one. So I was like, oh, can I buy this one? And I ended up getting it for about, I think it was about $140, which is about 90 US at the moment.
Oh,
So
man. Wow.
yeah,
That's, I mean, for your first, for a learner wheel, so to speak, that's not bad at all.
yeah,
So you've probably ridden a few wheels during your stint riding EUCs. What's your favorite wheel so far?
it's got to be the links.
Yeah, yeah.
Links all day. The
Oh
links is
man,
like God to me.
you said that so quick. You said that so
Yeah,
quick.
well, you know, I really like the pattern as S as well, but the links is like the pattern S is like an 80% links. You know what I mean? Like 80% the speed, 80% the range, 80% the weight. Probably a bit more than that in the weight, but it feels a lot lighter. But yeah,
Well,
I don't know. I've just really gone towards the Leapkin wheels because they're just really good build quality. Like my last Pagode was my T4, and like
yeah,
nearly every time I crash it, I'd have to replace the headlight.
yeah. I
And then,
remember that. I remember
but
you had that T4
yeah,
for a little while. I remember when they
yeah,
sent it
Pagode
to you
gave it to
along
me.
with an X3, along with an
Yeah,
X3. I was like, whoa. I was like,
yeah,
they wanted to put the money where the mouth was on that one.
bit
That
of the
was
old bribey.
Yeah, they they wanted to see if they if it would hold up to your standards, and I don't think
You
it
know
worked
what?
out the way that
It
they
actually it did impress me, to be honest, because I was pretty dead set on fuck the go, they're shit. You know, like because I had a couple gotways that like my only real wheel failures have been on gotways, and
Okay.
when you're not expecting it and you haven't done anything wrong, and then you just hit the ground, it fucking sucks. But
Yeah,
like
that's a
the
rude
build
awakening
quality of the Leaf
feeling.
Kims though, like I was in Perth last year, and me and my mate were cruising along at about 30, 35 or whatever. And I've
Hmm.
gone to turn, and he was on my left. And as I'm turning, I've like ran straight into him because I didn't realize he was coming up. And
Hmm.
we hit the ground. And then about, I don't know, 3 or 4 feet later, my legs and my links got wrapped around like a fat pole. We call them bollards. I don't know if you call them bollards or not. But like I just smashed into
Yeah,
that
I know
so
exactly.
hard.
Yeah, dude,
And
those are like
like my knees
nightmares.
were sore, like the ambulance come and everything. And like, but
I know
my
exactly what
leg,
you're talking
there's
about.
a little crack in the handle, and that's the only damage. And I'm like, yeah, like, I don't care how
Damn,
fast
man.
these wheels are anymore. I don't go that fast anyway. So
Well,
they're
I
all
mean,
faster than I am now. So I want something that's going to hold up, you know? Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, and then, when you talk about like parts into perpetuity, I mean, like if you buy a wheel and you can't buy parts for it in, a year and a half, 2 years, then that's like $4,000 in a piss train, and that's not a feeling that doesn't feel good. So, and then if you guys haven't, if you're here, then like my name's JohnnyGoVroom, and I've been riding wheels for just the past 4 years or so, and mostly just testing wheels for in motion periodically. Been a part of a few different launches, the V13, the V14. The V9, and then the V12S. So, and then I've done some things for Bagode, and I'm also an affiliate with Next Gen Mobility. So, just having a good time out here making videos and just having fun with the whole hobby, guys. So thanks for being here. So straight into it, guys, straight into it. I know that's been actually more like 10 minutes. And so if you're here, I'm so sorry. What's up, Mason? What's up, Mason? How you doing, bro? Welcome. So let's get right into it, man. This is going to be mostly your show, sir. I am going to ask you some questions. I'll pitch in a little bit here and there about what I know about the things, but I want to kind of pick your brain about what you think is is like the right way to go about some of these things. So, without further ado, here we go, my good sir. Um, riding downstairs. So we often get people whenever they get on their wheels, they want to figure out how to go downstairs. And this is always one of those holy grail achievements for people. And guys, if you have any, yeah, what's up, Bilal? And if you have any questions, guys, that we don't go over during the course of some of this stuff, just please put it in the comments. We'll try to hit it by the end. We're going to do a little question and answer Q&A sort of thing. Yeah, he's a funny man. He's a funny man. So stairs, man. In 3 sentences or less. No, I'm kidding. But like,
I,
what are your best tips for how to make stairs happen for the people? I'll pitch
I
in what I
think
feel like I can.
the biggest thing I think is getting past the hurdle of like the fear of what might happen or I might crash or whatever, and like start like going off curbs and then like find like a 2 stair or a 3 stair and just build up, man. Like bend your knees a little bit and just go for it. Like try not to send it too hard down a massive set if you haven't done it before,
Yeah,
obviously. But yeah,
what he
you just
just
got to
said
get
is
past the
huge.
fear because stairs are actually quite easy, you know.
I, I agree. I agree. And it's big. What he just said, just to piggyback on the back end. Don't shoot for the moon with your first one. Just like even a curb is a great way to start. Just get used to see what that feels like. I think the biggest thing is like, and I'm sure you felt this, but when you first go off like a step or something, when you feel that wheel, especially if you're having pads on, when you feel it kind of get pulled down, that's a little bit of a jarring sensation at first. So if you get used to that in a small scale, then it makes sense in a bigger scale. So do y'all have any questions about what it means to go down the stairs? And if not, then we'll go right into the next thing because we have a whole lot of stuff to go on. So
I think one
basically,
thing with
go
sorry,
ahead.
one thing
Recap
with
it if you
stairs
can
is
in 3 points.
if you can get your pads so your feet don't bounce on the pedals, because if you're going a bit slow, whatever, you got that bump, bump, bump. Like you get your speed right, and it's like, but yeah, if you can get your feet to not bounce on the pedals, that's excellent. Because if your feet shuffle back as you're going down, and you get in this really precarious like position
Oh
where
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like
that
even like
you
front to
might
back
crash.
or yeah,
Yeah,
front to back
so
or top to
try
bottom.
and get rid of that bouncing on your pedals if you can. If you're getting that, then change pads, move them or whatever.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, guys, make sure that you keep your feet static. Don't go for a massive set. And is there any other tips that you feel like would help for the new riders? So far, those are
Um,
two really great thoughts that I
Basically,
feel
once
like.
you basically get used to what speed you should be doing them at. Because if you go too slow, it'll bump, 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 and you will get that bouncing. But also, if you go too fast, you might overshoot them, and then when you get to the bottom, you get that little bit of a jar when you get down the bottom of a big step. So, if you're not ready,
Yes.
that might bring you unstuck.
So I think that's another great point, that speed. In fact, it's funny that you say that because in one of my last little shorts that I posted online, I actually overshot the speed that I was supposed to be using on a rather small set. It was like 4 or 5 steps or something like that, but I overshot the speed. And in doing that, I basically turned the stair set into a drop. And so, yeah. So guys, make sure you pick the right set of steps. This is per EUC Wheeler. Pick the right set of steps. Don't go for something super duper huge. Make sure that you've got your feet locked in a good way that's comfortable for you, so your feet aren't moving a whole lot forwards or backwards or up or down. And then lastly, make sure that you are moving at a speed that's good and sensible for the flight that you're going at. I also feel like the steps, right? The type of steps, like the width of the step and the height of the
Yeah,
step also
yeah,
matters for the speed. So
yeah. I'm very peculiar with what stairs I do. But if they're
um,
too long and shallow, it's going to be too bumpy. Like I like a nice,
yes,
you know.
I agree for sure. Also with the Mr. Wrong Way thought, yeah, if you approach it, then that's sort of the last thing that EUC Wheeler is saying, I think, as well. It's just that if you go at it at the right speed, then it's not this bump, 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 bump. It's rather like that, and that's how it should mostly be. So we're gonna jump on to the next one. Thank you for throwing that in there, Goth. Appreciate it, bro. Riding backwards. Okay, so this is the one that I think when I saw you doing this a long time ago, you were like one of the OGs of this whole backwards thing. There was like a time where it was like between you and EUC Tarzan or whatever. But I feel like you've definitely got this backwards thing in a way that's more than competent to be able to give advice. So, just like the last one, we want to try to put all of the try to bring it down to three, like three bullet points. So whatever it is that you got in there for the backwards riding, we're going to break it down to three. So what's in your toolkit, EUC
Yeah.
Wheeler?
Well, I couldn't actually ride backwards for the first 4 years, I reckon. But it wasn't until I actually spent like 45 minutes of like solid practice, just practicing it, and then eventually it just clicked. And then after that, it's just more practice, and you get better at it. But the advice I would give, besides practice, um, try not to twist your waist, like look over your shoulder. It can strain your eyes and your neck a little bit, but when you twist your waist, you're shifting your balance. So if you can try and keep your frame up, you twist a little bit, but not like all the way around, and that will help keep you a bit level. But also, when you're steering, instead of trying to lean the steer, push down on whatever side you want to turn towards. Like instead of
That's
trying
like an
like
ice skating. That's almost like
yeah,
I feel like that's almost like the ice skating approach. And sometimes I'll put my arms out to the side and kind of like la la la. But like, yeah, I feel like that's really, really critical. So yes,
and then
100%.
more
What else?
practice.
What else you got?
Yeah.
Guys, so
I've probably done 10,000 miles backwards.
I
Maybe 7 or 8,000 miles backwards.
I feel like, yeah, I feel like I mean, you've gone backwards in damn near every single situation that I can see. Sometimes I've thought that it was like reversed or something, but it feels like because you just go backwards in all of the most ridiculous situations.
Well, back in the day, I didn't really have anyone to ride with because like it was years. I mean, I met a couple of people over the years, but it was like quite a few years. It wasn't basically until COVID started that it started getting popular over here. So when I go for rides, I'll go for rides with bike groups, and because they're slow, I'd play around and like I'll go backwards and like because you had the time to. But now I'm riding faster wheels. I don't do it as much. I only do it when I'm
So
showing off.
the big thing, guys, that I heard and I think is so important, and I really echo that sentiment. With that twisting of the hip, like a lot of times when you're learning to go forwards, when you're learning to do different things going forwards, you're going to sit there and you're going to turn your head because your shoulders are going to turn with that, and then your hips are going to turn with that, and it's really all down back to the hips. So if you take that logic and you end up going backwards with it, and you start turning things and your hips move, you're gonna make yourself come off of that trajectory, whatever that trajectory is. And then the second thing that I heard, which I think is really critical, is making sure that you're thinking about pitching the wheel turn, the pedals to get that turn instead of trying to kind of swivel it over that center line. And I think those are both really great ideas. Is there any other juice you have outside of practice, 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 which is going to be also my advice as well. Just it's for me, it was not a matter of 45 minutes. It was a long, long, hard fought process, but practice definitely does help. So is there anything else you got in your toolkit for us, Mr. Dale?
Look backwards? No, not really. That's basically it. Like, because once it does, because you have this moment where it clicks, and once it clicks, like you know what you need to be doing instead of like it's like your brain just suddenly knows, and then you just got to practice some more because but you're not doing it great. You know what I mean? So like, the more and more you do it, the better you're gonna get. Like with anything, really. But yeah, like I think it's the amount of backwards riding that I've done, which has made me so good at it.
Do you feel like you fell a lot during the process? Were you busting a lot?
No, no, not really. I mean, obviously, chuck my foot down and stuff, but I
Yeah,
think I've
yeah, but
only
like what, like no hard falls or anything like
no,
that?
I think I've only ever had about three or four backwards crashes.
So, I think part of that is like it doesn't sound like you're scared at all of like going backwards. It doesn't sound like there's a whole lot of like fear in it for you.
Yeah.
Do you think that like people who are scared of going backwards, do you think they're going to have a harder time?
Um, I don't
Or how
know.
would you
I mean, because
recommend,
you're in
or how would you
control of the
recommend them?
speed, so
Well,
like
how would you recommend
people
somebody
only
get
go as
over?
quickly as they're comfortable. Yeah, I'm not really sure about that because I didn't go through that myself. So
Well, like
yeah,
if somebody is leery about putting their weight backwards, for instance, like to even initiate the process, like
yeah,
how would you suggest somebody try to get past that initial like apprehension to try to go backwards, to like
six beers,
sit down backwards?
6 beers. I don't really know, to be honest. Like, because I haven't
Here we
gone through
go.
that because I was confident, so I can't really, you know.
Well, yeah, it was never a scared thing for me. I just I know that there's some people who are just leery about giving their weight. And friends that I've even like tried to train to ride the EUC, sometimes you see they're just apprehensive to commit the weight all one way or commit the weight all another way. And you know, getting past that, I think once you get past that and you're like, oh, it's gonna, you know, trusting the wheel. I think that that's probably the best thing that I can say, guys, is you know, just trust the wheel. It's designed to keep you upright when you start to take your weight past where you would normally fall. It's designed to keep you upright. So you got to trust your wheel, guys. You got to trust that wheel. It's going to do it. I know it feels supernatural if you've not done this before, but I promise you, it's going to do the thing.
Learn on the flat as well. Going
Oh,
backwards
yes.
downhill, going backwards downhill can be pretty sketchy.
I mean, going up and down hills at first was like, I mean, it was not hard, but it was a new sensation. You know, like I was like, oh, like this is different. And going up steep hills on a V8, trying to find out the cutout point was a weird thing too. Um, so wobbles. Okay, so this has been something that's come up a couple of times here recently, and you always see people ask questions about this in the forums all of the time. So, um, Dale has this patented method that he likes to use for resolving his. Yeah. Do this. Enjoying the stream. So, oh look, my boy. I love you, Spartacus, the hero we need and don't deserve.
Like,
But you've got this patented method that you always talk about, and
yeah.
and I would love it if you could share it for the audience members there, guys. Listen up. If you have issues with wobbles, you know this is a wonderful strategy. I've got a video on it, but Dale has a wonderful consolidated strategy and a couple of really great tips to help you ride so much more confident. So let the people have it, brother.
Well, basically, I call it the 3-point method. But basically, when you're riding, you've got your 4 points, so your heel, your toes, your heel, your toes. So you got the 4 points. And it was only a bit over a year ago that I learned this little trick. But so like I'd already been riding for like 9 years before I figured it out. But I noticed that if I raise one heel slightly, so I'm only on 3 of those 4 points,
Hmm.
I can go fast and I don't get the wobbles like on the links. Links is prone to wobbles, like everyone knows that. But I eliminated them completely by riding with one heel slightly lifted, or if I need to, I'll put the heel down and raise the toe, but just stay on 3 of those 4 points. I'm not really too sure how well it goes on like braking wobbles because I don't often get them, but the wobbles you get just from like speed wobbles and stuff, I've eliminated them completely just by lifting a hill while I ride. A few
It's
other
a
people
one.
I've told, they say that's worked for them, so hopefully
It's
that
a
helps
really,
other
really,
people.
really great. I think it's a great consolidated technique. I mean,
Yeah.
absolutely. You
Well,
know,
a three-legged table won't wobble.
and there you go. Like, so for me, one of the ways that I've classically done it is that I've like, and I mentioned is just to like drive one of your shins like forward into the pad, like, and
Yeah.
that kind of does this. In principle, it does kind of the same thing. I think that your method makes it less complicated. So I think that I think if you need to, you can add the extra shin into one of the forward pads. But I think a really big key, and this is something I learned from Sean, I think a long time ago, was the asymmetrical standing. You know, if you try to stand in a straight line, if you try to stand like this really tight, it never really works out super duper well. So on top of the pedal lifted technique, what would you what else would you say, brother?
Um, I don't
Or if
really
that, I
know.
mean,
I
or maybe
see your
that's all
video on the
three.
wobbles. You had some pretty good tips on the wobbles on your video, but
And well,
yeah,
so
like
so so for
yeah,
me, I feel like wheel settings also have a lot to do with the wobbles. For me, this has been
yeah,
my experience. So it's like if the in the rocket, for instance, the thing had a forward dip pretty significant on the hard and medium modes. And then even in soft mode, it had a pretty significant forward dip. So when I would go to brake at speed, my toes would be dipped down and my heels would be elevated. So I'm trying to like brake with my toes like this, and it's the most awkward situation, and it was very, very challenging. So that's and then I had my selfie stick in the left hand, and then I had wobbles there. So consider this: if you find the toes down technique better for you with for acceleration, it may not be ideal for braking. So or for
Yeah.
wobbles for braking. So just consider that and mess with your settings. Sometimes soft mode may work out better for you. Um, now, general riding techniques. So like, how do you approach like for beginner riders? Like, what are the things that you feel like are critical for turning? What do you feel like are the critical things for mounting?
Um, I don't know. I don't think I'm the best person to give advice on how to learn because I picked it up straight away. Like I didn't really go through that learning curve. I just basically my learning curve was just getting better at it. Like
Right
so.
on.
I don't think I'm the best person to answer learning curve questions.
You know, I mean, I feel you, brother. I feel you,
Yeah,
brother. That's like
'cause I used to
I
ride normal unicycles when I was younger, and I used to do manuals on my BMX everywhere. So
oh, so you so
I
you've
had a
had
lot of
you've had
rumble
the
practice in the past.
experience.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, see, right here. And Goth Kazu, dehydral angle, lad. So yeah, like what he's talking about is this tilt on your pedals. Sometimes for some people, this tilt helps. Sometimes for some people, this tilt doesn't so much, but it is something worth exploring. So if you're having issues with wobbles, guys, consider this pedal angle, consider the forward back lean. There's a lot of things that you can look at as far as like the settings of your machine, including the tire pressure. The tire pressure will make a difference. So all of these things play into how you're going to experience it. And yeah,
Foot
man,
placement as well.
so let's see here.
I I think you got to get comfortable. Like you got to find a comfortable spot as well. Like some people have their feet hard up against the wheel, and some people have them like near the edge of the pedal, like or hanging off the edge of the pedal. Like I think you just got to find that spot where you're comfortable and you can keep them in control. Because 99, I mean, for learners, 99% of wobbles are caused by nerves.
Yeah, oh,
And just
bro.
like
So and
getting a
that's
faster wheel than what you used to, and you're hitting a speed you haven't hit before, and down you go.
oh, bro, that is such a critical, that's such a good point. So, man, okay, so like nerves will cause it, right? If you get nervous about what's happening and you feel your palms sweating and your feet start to get rubbery, if you start getting tired, guys, come off your wheel, take a break. There's so many things. Um, if you get on a new wheel, if you get on a brand new wheel, try to feel out that wheel. Give yourself a little bit of a learning period. Even if you're an experienced rider, new wheels will sometimes give you wobbles in a wild way. If it's a smaller wheel than what you're normally riding, the wobbles may not take you off the wheel. If it's a bigger wheel, it may be a little bit jarring. So those are some things that are worth considering as well. There's a whole lot of things that play into it, but at the end of the day, one of the biggest things that EUC Wheeler said that's really going to be it is just practice, man. Practice, practice, practice. Um, I'll add to it if you really want to learn hard, then you got to be trying things that take you out of your comfort zone, that you may fall doing. So wear adequate padding,
Yeah. When you're
because
going
if
backwards, though, I mean, I'm not saying you're not going to get hurt if you crash going backwards, but I've found like, I mean, I've only crashed backwards like 4 times. Once I smashed into a bollard, backflipped over it. But yeah, like the first time I crashed going backwards, which was I was pretty scared about what was going to happen if I crashed. But I went down. You basically go down and just roll out of it, like obviously try not to smack your head when you go down, like put your head forward, but you basically just roll out when you crash going backwards. Where when you're going forward, your body extends out. So it's
it
almost
almost
like you're
feels
meant to be
better.
riding backwards.
It
Yeah,
almost feels better.
yeah. So don't be afraid of it.
Yeah, guys. I mean, like just have fun, man, and trust the wheel. It's
Yeah,
got to do what it's supposed to do. If you haven't ridden these wheels and you didn't decide to get a wheel that was a small, modest wheel, I would even advise like setting a speed cap on the wheel. Don't open all of the speed on the wheel if you haven't been, doing this for a long time,
I'll
because
just mute
you
this
can
plane
mess
for a
around and hurt
second.
yourself. Huh?
Just muting this plane.
Oh,
I'll
oh, oh.
oh, that's gone. It's all right.
Okay, okay.
The plane going right overhead.
Well,
Yeah.
we've moved pretty quickly through most of the things that I wanted to. But I guess we'll get into some juicy shit, and then we'll talk about and
Oh,
then we'll talk.
another thing for backwards riding.
Yeah,
I found it easier when I was learning, instead of trying to mount and then ride backwards. I found it easier if I was riding forwards and like pendulum into backwards, and that got me off onto the right foot. It gets you off on the right foot because you've already got your feet where they're supposed to be, and you're not trying to chuck it on and hoping it's in the right spot and then doing something you're not familiar with. Like, I
that's
found if you
such
go
a
forward
great.
and idle back into it, but idling or pendulums, I think it's the best. It's the best thing people should practice to gain skills, because
Dude,
you're
that's
only on the
such a
spot going
great
back and
tip.
forth, but you get in all sorts of these funny little angles, and then you learn all these recovery techniques, which could later save you. You might be out riding and you might hit it, run over something, and your wheel like flicks a little bit, and you're already going to know the move to fix that with. So like, it's builds your skills up, learns you recovery techniques, and
So
you know,
the pendulum, you say?
yeah, the pendulums, or idling as it's called in the generic unicycle world. Um,
Yeah.
I think like if you got to stop at the lights, the floor is lava. Just try not to put your foot in the ground, and a quick twist can straighten you up. If you get a little bit off, like a real quick twist of the wheel, like a flick, like that'll straighten you up a little bit. But just the more you do it, like when I first was doing it, I might go back and forth 2 or 3 times and then have to chuck my foot down. But eventually you get to the point where you can do it for a while, you know, and that's good because it trains you all those recovery moves. So I think idling or pendulums is one of the best things any rider should practice, because it is
Boom.
useful. It's not just like I'm stopping at the lights and not put my foot down. Ta-da! It is actually useful.
No, that's something that I can't believe, more people don't talk about in terms of its
Mm.
utility, but it is absolutely critical. And if I remember correctly, during my much longer than 45 minutes working on learning to go backwards, it was lots of coming into it from that forward place, from going forward and then being like, okay, here we go, going
Yeah,
forward, and then being like, okay, here we go.
yeah, that helped me a lot.
So,
No.
guys, if you have any questions about, anything that we didn't talk about as far as like skills and stuff like that, point it down in the comment section below. Where if you don't like weird drama, then leave now. No, I want to talk about the race. No, we're going to talk about the race. We're going to talk about a couple of things right quick. The race, the Oryx, and then rumor mill has it that that In Motion is dropping something ridiculous. I don't know if you saw
That'll be interesting.
the if you did you see the leak or whatever
Oh, I've heard something about it, but I don't have any info on it.
about the
You might have info
P6.
on it.
Yeah, well, they posted it to the EUC group on Facebook. So I ended up seeing what they had going on there, and so they've got this ridiculous P6 wheel, which looks basically like a competitor to the Sherman L. So the race, man, what do you think about the race? What do you think about the race as a wheel?
Yeah.
And the race as a move in terms of the pricing and the direct to
Uh,
consumer thing.
well, the wheel looks alright. Like, although I think they're using some dirty tactics, and so I'm a bit inclined to not trust it. But Peugeot have been making better wheels for the last few years and stuff. Like, I'm not saying it's going to be a bad wheel, but one of my concerns is, if it was ready, why hadn't they already released it? And like, maybe they were holding off and waiting for Lee Kim to drop a wheel so they can try and fuck with their sales or whatever. But I think the wheel itself, I think looks like a pretty good wheel. Like, if you're into going really fast, that might be the wheel for you. But like, most of the top end wheels go faster than most riders anyway. So the top end is not real. It's
Facts,
kind of irrelevant. It's
facts,
just
facts.
boasting. And we all know that they inflate those speeds on their speedos and shit. I mean, I know that I forget who it was. Someone did that speed test on it, and they did like 117 kilometers an hour or something GPS, which is pretty fucking fast.
Yeah, no, it
But
was wicked fast. It
but
looks,
it's
I
like,
mean, and I agree with you so much, man. It's like as far as the wheel being for a very specific group of people, and we're at such a cool time in terms of EUCs where there's like a wheel for every single person.
yeah, If I
And
could
it's
only have
like,
one wheel, it wouldn't be the race. I'd say that.
but
I'm not saying it'd be a bad wheel. For some people, that would be a great wheel for their to only have one wheel. But if you're not a
it's
racer or a super fast rider, then
and that's where I feel like there's a lot of people that are purchasing outside of their utility with these wheels. I feel like, they're purchasing kind of in a pissing contest. They're like, okay,
yeah,
well, if my friend's got wheels that go 50 miles an hour, then I need a wheel that goes 60 miles an hour, even though I've never been 30 miles an hour. And it's like, bro, you're gonna hurt yourself, guys. Like, purchase in line with what it is that you're doing. And furthermore, I would say, I don't know if this is something you've ever thought about, but I feel like it's really important is if you have a group of people around you, like what is the median speed that these people are going? And if you plan
yeah,
on riding with these people regularly, having a wheel that just like regularly outpaces them is going to put them at risk and make you bored in the long run. I'm going to tell you from experience. If your wheel goes faster than the people you're with and you are a fast rider, then you are going to be bored to tears when you're trying to ride with people, the average person, majority of people in a safe context.
yeah.
Man, we've got so many great comments about this here. Okay, so what do you think about so it looks like, hang on. So in motion, yes, they do have three wheels coming. I didn't see the stats for the other two wheels. I just know that one of them was a race wheel and the other one was something else. I forget. But it looked like, yeah, they announced three wheels. I did see stats on the P6 though, and that looked like it was going to be a beast at 220 or 230 watts or something, or yeah, I think 30 watts or 30-volt system,
Oh, yeah.
230-volt system, something like that. And then let's see. What are you thinking about what do you think about the Oryx, bro? I mean, are you excited? I know it's coming,
I
man.
haven't got it yet.
It's coming, bro. But
Yeah,
are you pumped? I mean, like,
yeah, it is. I am pumped, but it's probably going to get to Australia. Like it's. I've got it getting delivered to Queensland, and I'm in South Australia at the moment, which I think is about 3,000 kilometers. So I don't know, like a lot. Just a long way. But
that's yeah,
I
that's
think
not
it
a short
arrives
distance.
in Brisbane in about a week, but it's going to take me about 3 weeks to get up there because I'm going to stop in Sydney on the way, then go up. But when I get there, it'll be waiting for me, and I can't wait. I just hope it's not DOA like the Zen Lee's one. I don't know what the go there was. You see Zen Lee, his Oryx arrived DOA.
No, I didn't. What do you mean? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, I know, right? That would be so disappointing,
That would be so,
especially
so,
like
so
because he's a
disappointing.
content maker and stuff. Like he wants it as soon as possible. You know,
Bro, so like what made it to where that you were like that one versus the Sherman L? What made you pull the trigger on the Oryx over the L?
well, I can get it cheap and it's the latest one. It's worth more.
So
Basically, I mean, realistically, looking at them, I probably like because I've never been a fan of the really big wheels. I didn't like the Monster Pro, or I don't really like the V13 either. Like, I know it's good wheel. My mates have them, they love it, but I've never been a fan of the big wheels, so I'm a little bit concerned that it's going to be a bit too big. But I'm sure that once I've ridden it for a little while, I'll get used to it and it's going to be fine. But basically, I got it for the range. Like, my lengths
you
are
know,
excellent. Like, if my lengths had more range, that'll be the best wheel
I
ever.
feel like with 22 inches, and if you let it have the off-road tire, I mean, I'm not to. I'm probably just exaggerating, but in my mind, in Australia, there's so much in my I imagine there's lots of places you can go that don't necessarily have formal trails, and a wheel that has the ability to kind of make its own way, being that it's 22 inches, you can literally ride this thing through any amount of thick grass, thick bush, thick anything, and it will make its own trail. I don't think it's going to be a conventional bicycle trail wheel, but as far as like an over the road, being able to, like I said, make its own way. I think it's going to be so good for that. So, I mean, I'm excited to see kind of the places you can get to on the Oryx. It just seems like a great adventure wheel.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be
So,
exciting. But yeah, I
so
mean, for me, it's going to be more of a cruiser because, like, my ideal riding speed is 30 to 40 mile an hour. Like, that feels nice. I like doing the little fast sprints and stuff, but if I'm going for a long ride, I'm not going to. go flat out the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot more exhausting than most people give it credit
the Oryx
for.
is going to be like a cruiser. It's going to have like really good range, which I use because like I don't go anywhere without my charger because I might need it. And
Yeah,
it's just when you don't take it that you do. But
I
yeah,
constantly
it's
see
mostly
you
the
getting
range. It's
around,
basically
man.
going to be like a cruiser for me. I don't know if I'll be doing like trying to do jumps and shit on it, but I probably will, knowing me, because I'm going to be on the wheel and I'm going to see something and I want to try and jump it or something. So, you know, like, I'll be like, oh, I wish I had my length. Not going to do that. No, I'll probably just try it. So hopefully I'll get upper right in that. But
it looks like Simon is asking if I think you did, didn't you? Didn't you sell your patent?
it's up for sale.
Okay, so it's still up for sale?
Yeah, well, I haven't actually listed it on Marketplace or anything. I put one post on my Facebook and I've had a few people interested, but I don't know. If I might list it soon. There's a dude in Queensland that's interested, so I might see how that pans out. And if he doesn't buy it, I'll just list it on Marketplace. I don't think it'll take too long. I mean, it's still a fair bit of money for a second-hand wheel, but it's still like $1,500 less than the new price, and it's like new. Like I rode it for a month, and then I
Oh,
started
dude.
cutting, and so I took my links with me traveling because it's got more range.
I don't think you're gonna have any trouble at all getting that thing sold, bro.
Yeah,
I think you're
yeah,
gonna have no problem getting that thing sold.
yeah. Well, it's like
So,
it's in mint condition, so that's why I'm
yeah, I
selling
mean,
that one instead of the link because I get more for the patent, and I'm gonna pay for this Oryx.
all right. So, a question for the audience, right quick, before we're getting close towards the end here. So, in the audience, guys, if you had to purchase one, if you had one wheel and unlimited money, would you be purchasing the race? Would you be purchasing the Oryx, or are you waiting to see what InMotion has in store? Are you team A, B, C? One, two, three. Which one would you do? And while you guys are deciding about which one you would do, I'm going to say thank you so much to each and every one of you. Indian Rick, thank you so much, bro, for dropping in here towards the end. Goth Kazu, I really appreciate all of the interaction and stuff, man. You guys are super duper great. Simon, thank you. My EUC journey, thank you. George, thank you. Mason, thank you. Guys, going dark, Spartacus, all of you guys have Mega Obi down in Australia. Do you ever ride with Mega Obi? I wonder about that sometimes. Or if you guys, I know it's
I'm
big,
not
so I don't
sure.
know if you
I
guys
think
have
he's in
ever.
Melbourne.
So,
Yeah.
guys, we just had so many awesome people. The Angel of Exposure, so many great people in the audience, and I genuinely appreciate each and every one of you. Another big round of applause, if possible, for my man over here, Mr. EUC Wheeler. I thank you so much, sir. You are a good man. You are a
I
scholar
try
and a
to.
gentleman. I always see you out here. I mean, you participate so much. You're always in the comment sections. You're always like in everybody's videos. You're out there supporting the big guys. You're out there supporting the little guys. You're just existing out there and enjoying this EUC life to the fullest. And
Yeah. Well,
I
EUC
definitely
is life
appreciate it.
now. So
You know,
I just want everyone to enjoy it like I enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like it changed my life. It truly did.
I think a lot of us feel the same way, bro. It got me away from alcohol, and we got a lot of people out here being
But
super duper cool.
one time, this drunk chick, she's like, "You're nothing without your wheel," and I'm like, "Yep." Fair cool.
Fair enough.
I
Fair
know you
enough.
just need
Guilty
a
as
bit, but
charged.
fair cool.
Guilty as charged.
Oh, what's the funniest thing that's happened that when you've been riding?
Oh, as far as me riding on my EUC, what's the funniest thing that has happened to me so far? Um,
Like something someone said or whatever.
so funny peculiar, I think, is that every time, and I think we have all had this experience, and it's just the weird thing. Everybody always asks you to do a kickflip, and I don't know
Yeah,
why everybody feels like that's the thing to say. Like, no matter where you are from, no matter who you are, everybody wants to see a kickflip, and they know good and god dang well that you can't do a kickflip on
yeah. Or
this
it's all
thing.
really.
And so, yeah, I just like, that's, it always trips me out.
Yeah.
But I think that the craziest thing that has ever happened to me um, on the wheel would have been like this 40-mile-an-hour wreck that I did, and it was weird because I slid for a good like 15 meters, and it was wet outside. All the conditions were perfect, and it was just like I slid, and it was just like then I skipped, and it was like I flipped over, and then I flipped over again, and I just kept on sliding, and eventually I flipped up onto my feet. And then everybody stopped in the middle of the street, and it was like the craziest thing. And it was like something from an action movie. And I would never want to do it again, but it reminded me that, wear your protection, because that stuff definitely saved my ass sliding on the ground. And it was weird. It was like it got rid of all the fear of wrecking, though. I was just like, oh, as long as we don't come to a hard stop when we fall, if we slide, it's okay. And so for me, that was probably like a really weird, haha, kind of like, oh shit, like this is a whole different world sort of thing. It was a very supernatural experience. And that was probably the most peculiar sort of thing that's ever happened, I
Well,
feel
you
like.
ended up on your feet, standing up.
Yeah, at the end.
No, that's
Oh
cool.
my God. Actually, no, there was another time we were riding, me and my buddy were riding in the woods. We saw these three women at the edge of the woods, bro. I swear they were witches. You're like, okay, this is crazy. And she's like, so they're all three looking like they're straight out of a freaking movie, and they're all like fit like a different part of the coven. And one of them like points at my friend at the time, and all of a sudden he gets on his chest this spider that's as big as my freaking hand. And this is Florida. We don't necessarily have spiders as big as people's hands regularly. So we both thought it was like this chick's familiar. My buddy grabbed it, he threw it off, and then we rode away. And we totally, to this day, I swear that those were witches, and it was
Yeah.
scary, and it was
George
weird,
wasn't
and it
just
was
going, you got a
strange.
spider on you.
It was weird, bro. No, she was just like, she said, "Is that your friend?" Like, she was like, "Is that your friend?" Like, it was really weird. She like flicked it. It was the craziest thing. So between the fall and the witch, you know.
Yeah.
So
I think one of my funniest, I've had a few funny ones, but years ago I was riding through the city and there was these two bogans. Oh, bogans kind of like the Aussie version of a redneck.
mhm.
There was these two bogans and one of them goes, "What the fuck's that?" And his mate goes, "It's the future, you idiot." And all that just fucking cracked me up. And
What'd he
then
say?
one
What'd he
time
say?
and sorry?
What'd you say, brother? I didn't hear that part.
I said when the one dude was like, "Oh, what the fuck's that?" and his mate goes, "It's the future, you idiot." And
It
one
damn
one
sure
time in
is.
Sydney, I went past these two coppers, and one of them goes, "Oh, what's that?" and his mate goes, "It's a pussy magnet." And I'm like, I don't know about that.
Well, I was about to say, man, does that work for you? Because it's definitely not like a selling point. It's not. It's something I have to get people used to. It's not necessarily a selling point, I don't think so.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but
But yeah,
man,
good
I'm
time.
I'm gonna get myself up out of here, man. I appreciate you
Cool.
so much. I'm gonna let you get
Thanks for having me
about your
on.
day. It's been a wonderful, wonderful time, bro. Thank you for making the time to come out and just and get on the channel and share some of your wisdom. You dropped some gems, guys. If you didn't check out if you weren't here for some of the earlier parts when the stream ends, I know you can go back, you can go and check it out. But he gave some really insightful tips for riding downstairs, for riding backwards. It was really good stuff. So, and then the thing about pendulums, how they are that's probably one of the most important skills that you can learn, and it's going to translate into so many great safety things for you. Don't want to hold you guys up. I'm not really into that whole like 5 hour stream shit. I appreciate you guys being here for as long as you've been here. You got lives, you got wives, you got bread, you got knives. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. But we'll talk again soon, ladies and germs. And until then, ride safe, ride strong. Dale, you want to say anything to the ladies and gentlemen at
Um,
home?
have fun.
All right, guys. From the
Thanks
man
for having me.
himself down under.
Uh,
Cheers.
cheers, mate.